think it was here, was it? Have you ever been here before?
No, never here. Not in the studio.
No,
the Round Table Studio.
Yeah. I remember that. I remember because this is how long ago it was. You were on the show, and then like a week later was Montreal Comedy Festival, and I went up there and I saw you, Jay. I'm going to be honest with you, and I tell Bobby this all the time. I do a lot of comedy. I see a lot of comedians and all that stuff. Your show at the strip club, the crowd work show, was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
Thank you.
I mean, to go in there, you know, I've been on stage before and looked at the guy with a big nose and go, "Hey, you got a big nose," you know what I mean? But to do some of the stuff that you guys did, that you did up there, was amazing, off the cuff stuff like that. It was fantastic. Yeah,
I love it. It's my favorite. It's my favorite kind.
Yeah,
Tampa's a good place for it too. A lot of weirdos.
And it was weird because they were like, it was a strip club. And then they cleared the strippers, and then you go up on stage, and I thought that's got to be the worst feeling ever because everybody in here came to see a naked woman, and now they're looking at Jay, the opposite.
That place is called Cleopatra's, and it's actually that upstairs.
Yeah.
Downstairs, while we're doing the shows, is still a functioning strip club.
Right.
Upstairs is a trans strip club. Cleopatra's a trans strip club.
Oh, well, no one told me that.
Very strange.
Probably could have got more than I bargained for that day.
Yeah. It is funny, though, because you kind of see them wandering in the back of the room waiting for the show to end so they can get back to trans stripping.
Hurry up, guy.
Jay also hosts the Bonfire on Sirius XM with my number one best friend. How is that? Do you guys get along very well?
Absolutely.
Yeah. He's difficult. He's hard to be friends with sometimes. He's an aggressive best friend.
He is aggressive,
for
sure. But what I love about Bobby is he's constantly fighting that. He's constantly fighting what his instincts are.
Yes, that's the absolute truth. Well, great. I think a great team up with the two of you guys. It's super smart.
He saved everything about that show.
Good.
The show's gone when Dan Soder's my old partner there, and he just got overdoing radio, which I get. He's done it for a long time. He wanted to explore other things.
That's also the weed settling in after a while.
Yeah,
I would think so. You're like, I'm done with this.
I got nothing else to talk about.
Yeah.
But he didn't want to do it anymore, so I was kind of figuring out what the next pivot was going to be with the show. Would I do it myself or whatever? Yeah. And then Bobby agreeing to do it was amazing.
Any other options besides Bobby? Did you think of anybody else?
No. I considered some other people.
Like who?
Joe DeRosa probably was the closest of somebody else I was going to do. And it's just because
Joe DeRosa is the biggest, fattest liar ever in the world.
Sure.
Will you tell him I said that when you see him next? Listen, let me tell you what this jerk off does. I love Joe.
Sure.
Joe hits me up and he's like, "Hey, dude, I'm coming to Side Splitters in a couple of weeks. Can we do a phoner or a Zoom call?" And I have to tell you, I have seen the ratings over the years. I know when they have the phone calls are death. Now, unless I say, "Hey, my dog ate a cigar and it was Bobby Kelly's cigar. Get him on the phone and we can yell at him." That's a different story. But if I'm just like, "Hey, tell me about what you've been up to," nobody wants to hear that.
What brings you to Tampa?
Right. Yeah. It's terrible. So in studio, great. On the phone, ratings killer. So I told Joe, I can't do that, whatever. And he goes, "All right, well," he goes, "call me when, I'll call you when I'm in town. We'll hang out." I was like, "Yeah, okay." No, never heard from him. Never heard a word. Came, went, didn't say anything. Yeah, I understand how it works. I'm Sicilian. I will keep that in my mind forever. I know who is cool and who is not.
You were only there for the radio program.
Exactly.
Piece of shit.
Hey, can't say that word on this show.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Got it.
I forgot to remind you.
This is an XL.
Yeah. I forgot to remind you. Did you guys have Barry Manilow on?
For what was going to be about a minute and a half,
right,
and then turned into 20 minutes because of Bobby.
Oh,
number one best friend, Bobby.
Yeah.
He kept him on the line. What I'm finding out on Sirius XM is every time we get somebody like big coming in, or just someone who I don't know who's famous,
right,
I just go in the straight panic of not knowing what to say or engage at all. And Bobby is fantastic at that.
Yes.
Barry Manilow walked in. He said he goes, "Hey, I heard you guys wanted to say hello." So hello. He just was going to do that.
Right.
And Bobby started asking questions. And slowly he just kept turning around and like coming a little closer to the microphone.
Warming up a little bit.
For a few minutes. Yeah, it was crazy.
You want to hear a weird thing about him is that, so we went to go see him in Las Vegas. Me, Spanish, and Joe.
Yeah.
Dressed like 3 Fruit Loops. We went out there to go see the show together. Had a ball. The backup dancers were hitting on Joe.
That's true.
And
nice.
Yeah, and then about a couple
guys,
months,
I assume.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely guys.
A couple of months later, he comes to town, and we go to see him, and then we go backstage. And all the years that Barry Manilow has been famous, we're backstage, and it's a bunch of really, it's exactly what you expect. It's gay guys and old ladies, and me. But when they're like, Barry's gonna come into the room in a second, make sure when he comes in you give him a big round of applause. And I was like, he still needs that. His ego still needs to be stroked with a round of applause when he walks in the room. And then he walks in the room and everybody breaks into this fake applause and he goes, oh, like he's so flabbergasted by it. I was like, this is the weirdest thing. But yeah, isn't it? I mean, it's weird because I had worked in that building a couple of times and I saw how they operate when they have a guest that comes in. I don't know how many radio stations they got there, 50 buildings, and they offer them to most of the stations. And they'll bring them around. They'll spend the day going to different shows.
Mhm.
And I that's the only thing that would get me out of this garage and to move to New York would be the idea of having access to celebrities
All
like
the
that.
guests, yeah.
I mean, that's I mean, they're just bringing them to you.
Yeah, the problem is our hours that we're at Sirius XM and everybody comes in for like the car wash, they'll call that, is go through
Yeah.
the rinse and repeat of
Right,
every
right.
show. Mornings, you have more access to that. Our show's at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
So
But
everyone's gone. But we walk in and look on the board and see all the people we didn't get.
That's true.
Hey,
Sometimes
like, oh, new addition. And former President Bill Clinton was here. I never came across our plate for some reason.
That's got to be a good feeling when you walk in that door. They got that big screen up there saying who's in the building and stuff. That's
It is
a hot spot.
it's
in
still
New
never
York.
lost on me to look over and you see like the Howard symbol on the door.
Yeah.
That's the whole empty compound right now. But
Yeah. I know. Does anybody do? So what do they do? Does anybody do anything there?
yeah, I mean, it's people going in and out of there. I think similar to like Carmen, someone's got to be in there to
Run the board.
and stuff. But no, I don't think there's really much
Yeah.
production going on. And they have, I mean, it is a TV studio.
Oh, I've been in there. Yeah, it's
beautiful.
crazy. Yeah.
It's such a beautiful setup, and he's here.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
somewhere
he's
in
in West
Florida.
Palm or something like that
Yeah.
down in Florida. Yeah, must be nice to be there. Right? Well, I mean, I'm doing the same thing for my
But you
garage.
were Tampa local always. Like you were like this, like the thing. Like
yeah. I'm just saying, like, I don't want to go. I don't have to go in. You know, what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the best part is being able to just stay home.
I remember doing a radio show somewhere when all like the the Zoom and stuff started happening.
Yeah.
I forget what show, somewhere in Buffalo maybe, but they were like, when you go in there, you're going to do the show. Don't acknowledge that the host is on a screen, not here at all. He's like, everybody thinks he's here, but he actually is like, it's somewhere. It's always Florida. I
It's
think.
so
They always,
weird
they
to
go
me,
Florida,
yeah.
and they're like, don't say it, just act like he's in the studio.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
strange.
That is so weird. That and the whole Bob and Tom thing. Have you been on that show? Or are you too dirty for them?
Well, I did Bob and Tom one time.
That's it.
I wish I would have went with my instincts on it because there was a club called Crackers out in Indianapolis,
Yeah.
where they were, and the lady there who ran his name was Ruth Ann, and everybody would always it's one of those divisive characters in comedy. Some people are like, she's the meanest lady, and she was always very nice to me.
Right.
And I didn't really sell tickets at the time, so I was happy they were giving me headlines at all. And I went to go do the morning radio. Bob and Tom. They said in my mind, I was like, oh, neat. This is like one of the biggest shows.
Right.
Kind of there's people who were like considered Bob and Tom comics.
Yeah.
They've gotten so big. I went on. There was no Bob. Bob's the mustache guy. I think.
Right. He's gone.
Yeah, he wasn't there because they don't get along, so he barely comes in at this point. They were saying.
Oh, is that what I thought he just retired? I didn't know.
No, at that point it was like in and out. Like
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
coming in and out. But they were fighting.
I want to be so rich that one day I don't have to come in here because I don't like you guys anymore.
I don't like you. I'm not
Yeah.
coming in.
Yeah.
Who else? There was a lady.
Yeah.
I forget her name.
I know who you're talking about. And then there's another guy.
And then Chick
Chick
was
the
a
guy or
sports
whatever.
guy, and then the girl was next to me, and Tom, and whoever other people floating around. Before I went in the studio, they pull you aside to do hey, what bits are you gonna do?
Right.
Oh.
Because we do bits. They do bits here. I know that's the thing, but I was like, I do enough radio. Like I could just talk with you guys about whatever you're talking about. I go, you don't want me to do bits. My bits are too dirty
Right.
for the radio. And they were kind of frustrated. They're like, that's kind of what we do. I go, no, I got you. I know. But like,
Yeah.
I promise you I do this
Yeah.
enough. Like, whatever we're talking about, I'll just roll. It'll be fun. And they were kind of like frustrated by it. Like, all right. And then they ignored me on the show. They just ignored me completely. And the guy, he would ask me like the most, basic questions and then start doing something. Tom, he'd be like, so what made you get into comedy? And just start looking for like carts or something.
Oh, not like pay attention to you.
And so I kind of half acknowledged that. I'm like, wait, do you not want me to answer that for real? 'Cause he's like, no, go ahead. And then on commercial break, they would all go like the Blue Angels. I mean, 4 different directions. And then the girl was sitting there and telling me like, she's sitting there like, these guys, they just roll over me whenever I try to talk. And like, there's no point even bringing, like, I heard her complaining about them
She's complaining too?
to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then the thing comes back on. They all come back out and just left there. Just I said nothing, and I would come back and they would play a bit from a comic on the show. Augie
like
Smith,
one of their
I think they
guys.
said,
Yeah.
Augie Smith. They play, and they were like, and they kind of gave me a thing like, "This is what we mean." This. I'm like, no, I understand what you mean by 2 bits. I'm just telling you.
Oh.
What do you want me to do exactly? It was so weird.
Do you know who Kostaki Economopoulos is?
Yes,
He's a comedian.
He used to be when he first came up. He was dating Caroline Ray.
Yes,
and that was like everyone had that thing where it's like he's climbing.
Right. Oh,
sure.
Yeah.
Young, handsome Greek fella with his old ass Caroline Ray.
This guy calls us up one day and he off the air and he's like an agent and he's like, I got a thing that I think is great for you guys. And like, like Kostaki Economopoulos, he's on Bob and Tom all the time. And I'm like, okay. And they go, he's got this thing that he's writing jokes about football, about the previous week's football games. It's pretty good. You know, just fly off I was like, oh yeah, we'll give it a shot, whatever. So he called up. And he was like, yeah. And then the Colts. Speaking of the Colts, and then he'd go into like a Colts joke, and we were like, this can't be real. And then eventually he would do the jokes, and we'd be silent, and then we just went and hung up on him. And I go, I can't. And Galvin's like, I can't do that. I'm like, I can't do it. And then he called back in, and I'm like, I can't. I don't know what to say to the guy. I can't. And then he sent me an email. I think we got disconnected today. I was like, and that's the last time we've ever heard from him. I was like, oh,
Did we?
Yeah, he was like, speaking of the Browns really laid a brown one this weekend. I went, oh, Jesus. Like, I don't understand how Bob and Tom became so popular doing that stuff.
Because there's a portion of the world that really doesn't want to be, and challenge is the wrong word. I don't think like edgier comedy is challenging necessarily, but it's just like they don't want to think at all.
No.
They want like Good Morning America, people fake smiling and drinking coffee looking at each other. Some people just want that mindless thing.